What's going on, beautiful people of the Bay? Your man, Carlos Rojas with Frank the Bank, just off the hurricane flooding right here in the Oldsmar community. Guys, we're going to talk about this hurricane situation, which is very important. We're also going to talk about this vice presidential debate. And as always, the rates. Go ahead and start us off, Bo, with the intro. How's it going, everybody? This is We the People. Let's talk. All right, let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and go into the rates here. It looks like we got no changes at all according to Google. Is that true, Frank? What's going on here?
Bullshit. Yeah, actually, it's funny that when I looked last week, it was just even a tick lower, like 6.9. Truth is, everything you see on that chart is at least 1% lower. The FHA rate and VA rate for our veterans right now is around 4.875 to 4.99. The 30-year fix that you're looking at right there for conventional financing, 6.93. We are at 5.625. So, what we're hearing a lot right now, Carlos, a lot of buyers, and let me ask you as a realtor if you're hearing the same thing. Are you hearing people that are kind of hesitant and they're waiting till after the election? I'm hearing this a lot.
I did. Yeah. Not so much anymore. Right now, I'm
after the vice presidential debate.
I'm busy right now. I'm getting really busy, real quick too, real fast.
A lot of people in the refinance world are wanting to wait because they're thinking there's going to be significant impact. And the one thing that we learned in our last podcast, I think we talked about it, is when the Fed lowered the rate, the 30-year fixed rates actually went up a little bit because they're not directly tied, and that news that they were going down was already expected by the market. So when the market expects something, it's already baked in. The reaction is different, right? If it's not expected. Now, I don't want to talk doom and gloom, but everybody always asks me, what could make the rates go down again? Yeah, war. Uncertainty. The market does not like uncertainty. The market likes stability.
So wait, the war would make it go down.
Make the rates go down because it makes uncertainty in the market, and then rates will lower to keep consumer confidence high. Right? It's a little scary what's going on with Iran sending 250 missiles to Israel. I mean, everything you hear is Israel. I would
think that will make rates go up, not down.
No, makes them go down. That's what everybody thinks. They think, oh, it'll go up. No, rates go up when the dumbass government's trying to slow spending. Okay, number one, that's stupid. But rates go up when things are usually good. When things are bad, they go down because they're trying to make things better. Okay. So very interesting. Everybody asked that question. Yeah. So rates, take advantage, guys. Contact frankthebank.com. We'll get you taken care of, or talk to Carlos, find your dream home, do it the backwards way, and then and we'll pre-approve you.
I just got my first listing in Miami.
Nice.
It's so pretty too, man.
Hialeah?
Yeah, no. It's Homestead.
Homestead.
Yeah.
South Miami.
My cousin, he's police. Mm-hmm. And it's my first police officer too.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with it. That's going
to be awesome.
So I'm so proud of him. He's so young and he's.
Have you looked the property up online yet?
Yeah. What?
Did it show that it was owned by him, or did you have trouble? Yeah. Was it hidden? Because a lot of times with law enforcement, if they can register to where it doesn't show their address or their house.
It shows his name. Yeah. He's not a hidden, but he does have a private investigator right next to him. And he's like, man, he's always on top of everybody, making sure. I'm like, okay, that's a
good neighbor.
Yeah, for sure. All right, take us back to the main here, Bo. All right, so you were talking about church loans today on your Facebook. What's going on there?
Man, I'm glad you asked. Church financing. It sounds crazy, but with church financing, a lot of people don't want to. I'm trying to fix that. A lot of people don't. There we go. You know what it is? Hold on.
Maybe.
It's because it's next to the light. The light. By the way, a pro tip for you podcasters and technical guys: when you have power or you have audio next to power, it create a sound. I learned that from my stereo days back in the day. Anyway, church loans. So believe it or not, most banks and lenders don't want to finance churches. Why? Because they don't like to foreclose on God. It's a very bad optic if you go in the news that you just foreclosed on Idlewild Baptist Church, you know what I mean? Or the Catholic Church or something like that. Yeah. So the exciting news is that we just linked up with an amazing faith-based lender called Kingdom Capital.
Nice.
Okay, we now partner directly with them. Kingdom for God's kingdom.
Yeah.
And they will do church financing, church construction, church renovation, church expansion, buying a building. A lot of churches rent in strip malls and things like that. And
how do they calculate who to lend to? And
how do you know all these good questions to ask? Actually, that is the number one question when it comes to church financing.
Right.
How does a church show income? Because it's a nonprofit, right? And churches don't generally put a lot of income on the books. It's, man, that storm, huh? I shouldn't have done that. Everything's going to go out now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
hey, we go with the lightning.
So here's how it works. It's called giving units, parishioners. They calculate the number of giving parishioners, and that's the churches keep their books. That's how they calculate their budget. How many people are attending services, and of those people, how many are giving every week? How many are tithing, right? And this number of tithes, they have this weird calculation to say what the income is. So it is hard. Your church has to be decent size. I mean, you probably need a 100-person minimum congregation to get good financing, unless you're trying to do something small. But it's great news because you churches that are out there renting right now, you can own the property.
Absolutely.
And it's tax deductible. Well, hell, you don't pay taxes anyway. But it's great. So church financing, we want to help you churches out there.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this hurricane situation. So I don't know if you guys may know, but I just got 4.5 feet of flooding in my house. My whole life has been turned upside down. I got a camper in front of the house right now that we're trying to, accommodate as best as we can while we work on the house. Living with my mother-in-law, sleeping all 4 of us in the same room.
Oh, my Lord.
Plus the dogs.
Oh, my Lord. What about the camper? You're not staying in the camper at all?
Not yet. We're setting it up right now, but a lot of it has been very humbling, man, because from day one we've received a lot of help.
Good.
From our church, from our friends, the community. Just a lot of people has gone out there. We got help right away. We started tearing apart all the drywall, making sure that the house can breathe. Right now we're basically letting it dry out. And our next step is, as we still get things out of the house, because there's still too many things in the house, our next step will be to go ahead and make sure the studs are taken care of.
Right.
Put it all back together. But, then you think, okay, there's another hurricane coming down there. Maybe we should wait a little bit.
The good news I can say, I'm a fourth generation Floridian, tampon. That's right. I mean, what else am I going to call myself? I'm extra absorbent. But anyway, so we've never seen anything like this.
Right.
This is like a truly 100-year storm, but it is scary because they always have said what would happen if a hurricane goes up into the bay, which is tough for them to make that turn. But this damn hurricane was 100 miles offshore.
Yeah.
It just had to do with the tides and the winds and the angle that it came in. I think we learned a lot, and I think it shocked people, and I think that they're going to be a lot more prepared. But honestly, how do you prepare? Go.
To your point, the 100 is the key. Heard of somebody, they lost their house 100 years old. So it's been here for 100 years, never had any issues. This one wiped it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so my house was flooded back in 1987.
Right.
And now it flooded more
But
than
probably
in
not like this.
No, it was up to your knees.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
This one
that
was
was a
4
flood.
feet. Yeah, it was a flood.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's here's what I'm thinking about, Frank. What do you think about people that want to rebuild their home like a complete destruction? Is there anything that, lending wise, that somebody can do in terms of, because that's all I can think about. I'm like, man, I'm going to put the house. I just finished flipping my house, literally. Like, my house was just done.
I know. You just
this
finished.
year.
Yes.
And all of a sudden now, like, all our brand new kitchen cabinets are like so much hard work that I poured into it that just, trash. So all I can think about is, man, I want to build a house where the whole first floor is just garage right now, because I have the most beautiful view here in Oldsmar, which a lot of houses have already done it. They build it in a way where they have a garage, and then the second floor and the third floor is the living space.
Yep.
What are the options for a homeowner to create something like this? Maybe use some of the insurance money. I don't know what to do, but something where they're like, you know what? I want to destroy my house completely, maybe get a loan and rebuild a whole new house from the ground where, it's hurricane insurable,
right?
Where it passes all the city limits in terms of, surviving a hurricane and, the whole first floor.
Well, we expect at least the coastal areas to have requirements. And I think a lot of them already do that. If you tear your house down and you go to rebuild and you don't leave a wall up, it's kind of like the rule. You have to build up now.
Right.
So that's why you see all the houses on the beach are like that.
Right.
You're talking about areas you don't have to, but here's what's going to happen.
I mean, I think they're going to start mandating
they are
it.
going
I mean,
to,
it makes sense.
They probably won't mandate it all the way inland, but the places that got flooded this time were unbelievable. I mean, half those guys should have never seen water.
Right.
So here's the first thing to talk about: insurance. Okay, I have heard some horrible stories from this is terrible. 2 of my employees lost everything. One on Treasure Island, one in Hudson, and neither one of them had contents coverage for their belongings. So although the FEMA policy will help them because they had the flood policy, it'll probably get them most everything back. The first piece of advice I have to give everybody is don't cheap out on your insurance. Get the damn contents coverage, because if you have contents coverage, they literally stroke you a check for the full value. When we had a water leak flood in our house, came from upstairs to downstairs, destroyed, I can't tell you how much. It was as easy as sending pictures and doing like a little Google research and say, this couch was a $2,000 couch, and they just added it to the bill. So it made your claim very easy. To answer your specific question on building up, yes, there is a product. It's called a renovation loan. I would advise like somebody like you're going to get a big fat insurance check, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
I had no insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you the third crazy story. I had no insurance.
Flood
insurance.
Oh, no.
Like, it was $7,000 a year. I'm like, I'm not paying that.
But you have regular insurance, just not flood.
No, I don't. No. My house was...
Bo,
my house
get
was...
Carlos. We're taking him out back.
My house was my,
your investment.
My investment, and I didn't protect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
big mistake. I'll learn from it.
Pro
Okay.
tip. Get insurance. Pro tip number
pro
2,
tip
get
from
content.
me.
Next guest is an insurance rep, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
We
yeah,
should-
yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think we should,
Oh.
especially with what FEMA's
We
doing.
should.
I
Yeah.
just
The
I just
biggest
did
thing to learn
I
about.
just did a whole interview with somebody today on all of this right now. We'll be releasing that episode sometime next week. Great guy too, Christian as well, and he gave me a lot of good advice. Cause
Starting with get insurance.
man, I started with, brother, I hate insurance companies, and and basically he gave me a lot of good tips on that. Cause I'm wrong, and I know to admit when I'm wrong, but I gamble a lot with my life, and it's time to pay out for it. That's the reality of it.
You won't have to
think about is with flood insurance, if a zone is not identified, insurance is cheap, but it can go up to 10 times the amount once it's been identified.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
that's going to change.
Yes, especially because they change all the time. So
Right.
it's better to get it even if you're not in a zone.
Yeah.
Because as they say, if you live in Florida, you're in a flood zone.
You're exactly right. We're already underwater. So going back to what you can do, and besides get insurance, is you use the renovation loan product. And the beauty, it can save your tail because the renovation is just a refinance. Let's say you owe $100,000 on your house. Let's say the house is worth $400,000. You could refinance and you could get up to 75% of the value of your house. So you could get $300,000 minus what you owe, the 100. You could get $200,000, and you could literally do what you said. You could raise your house up, which is what I would advise you to do.
Yeah. So right now we got a FEMA inspection tomorrow on my house. I think we were one of the first ones to apply, so we were right on it.
So FEMA is going to come in and help.
I have no idea. That's
could be
our
great.
next topic. Can you put in the FEMA won't
Let's
help?
go, baby.
I
love it.
I got this this little notice here that says feds say there's no money left to respond to hurricanes after FEMA used $640.9 million this year on migrants. This is a real report from New York Post. It's scary.
So I have a major problem with this.
Yeah, there's a lot of money for Ukraine. There's a lot of money for
That's the first thing I was going to say.
wars around the world. There's just money for migrants, and man,
Where's the money for us?
yeah.
Do you know that?
I know I wasn't insured. I'm not, I'm not
saying
saying,
that.
but I just feel like seriously, like in this, guys, like no joke. I went through my whole neighborhood saying hi to all my neighbors, and it's devastating. Like it's like years, like memories of photos. Like it's crazy. Like my wife lived in this house since she was a baby. She just posted a whole video of her being raised in this house, and then everything that has happened, and all the hard work that me and my brother and some other people that I hired put into this house through this last 2 years. We're talking about somewhere around 80 to 100,000 that I've put into this house. God. And then this whole situation. This is me personally.
Well, I hope you get that female.
I'm looking at, some other neighbors, some other older people that, didn't have much people around them or much family members. And, we had to send help over to their way. Churches that are stepping up, which is a big, this is where you see, where this church is doing what they're supposed to do. And I really do like that. Mm-hmm. But the government should do a lot more. The government, what they did with Hawaii, and now what's about to happen with us, because I can already kind of feel it coming. I know DeSantis is already asking for all the help we could possibly get and all that, but it's so weird that we have all of these situations going on around the world that we can provide money for, and then we can't take care of our own Americans.
Listen, if Donald Trump was in office, I am confident he would say something to the effect of, no money is leaving the border of the United States at this time until we have built back. We have more money than any country times 10 on this freaking planet. Yeah. It needs to go to us. I'm tired of hearing about the war here, the people there, the immigrant here. I am tired of it. We have to come first. It's America first. These are our families. By the way, did you know, and this might change, as of yesterday, this was deemed the second deadliest hurricane in United States history.
Yeah, over 200 dead as of right now, and there's still numbers
over Katrina, right? But this could easily change. This thing is affected people all the way to Virginia, right? North Carolina is unreal. Our property, our little family lot that we have up in North Carolina, it's on this little river called the New River, the oldest, second oldest river in the world next to the Nile. It rose 18 feet. Wow! Calculate that, 18 feet. The entire homes. We had neighbors up the river that we would tube by, and they had these beautiful manufactured homes with these big metal roofs on top of them. There's permanent structures, basically, wiped off of the foundation, up the river, slammed into the bridge, gone. There's people who got caught in their homes. I guarantee this death toll quadruples because they don't even know. They don't even can't get in touch with people in North Carolina. So I did hear DeSantis. I don't know if you heard this today. He's talking about using prison labor, which is what we used to do a lot in this country. And I think that's genius. He's going to organize it and have prison labor help all Florida and North Carolina and things like that. That's a great idea.
I like that. I definitely don't like prisoners just sitting in the jail. I feel like, getting a man or whatever, a criminal to at least give him a chance to do something good, to maybe get out sooner or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Those are really good opportunities for sure for them. And versus just being in jail and we're paying for their stuff and they're not doing nothing for our society,
Yeah, I love it, man.
I like it. All right, let's get into this last thing, which is the debate. Let's sum it up here. Wow. Look at that.
That picture. I love that picture.
Man, the J.D. Vance kill.
Bro. Dude, is this guy on the right straight on crack or blow or something? What
it felt there was something weird going on with him. But let me tell you, I think he did well. I don't think he did a horrible job. I loved that there was respect, mutual respect between each other. It felt like finally, we can actually focus on the candidates and not so much on the emotions a little bit, I think, which is a good thing. I think I love Trump so much more for picking J.D. Vance. I remember when we were talking about.
Remember, I called that way back in the day,
and I'm thinking, man, this is a bad choice. Trump needs to pick on emotional voters,
right?
Which I'm thinking, pick a black person, pick a woman,
right?
Do something that is, that an
Some
emotional
DEI.
voter is gonna go ahead and vote for. That way, you can help, get a win. And I'm glad that he did it. And I'm glad that he picked the right person for the job, because this is what you see when you do that. You pick the right person for the job, and they kill at their job. This is our future, man.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance is going to be our next president. I'm telling you right now. I do not see anybody that can challenge this guy. He is the attorney you want defending you.
He was eloquent. He was
so
professional.
Beautiful.
Listen, not for nothing. I know you're saying beautiful. I think every woman in America was looking at those baby blue eyes. I had like girls texting me and being like, I'm in love with this guy. I'm like,
he was piercing.
listen,
for sure.
if I was, playing for that team, I mean, that guy is good looking right there.
He did good. He did real good. He talked right to Americans' hearts.
He did.
Everybody felt it. I mean, I was feeling like he's talking, and I felt like he was talking directly to me, so I can see that impact. And I think he's definitely going to turn a lot of voters towards Trump because of the way that he was. So I'm very proud of Trump for making that decision. Just obviously he made a decision that was all his own, and he saw the future of America right there, as he normally does.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, J.D. Vance is the future, and he's young too. I love that he's a young candidate. So we need this. We need this change, and it's in 4 years. It should or will happen.
I'm gonna say something. You might hate me for this. Some people, listeners, might hate me, but that guy, I think he could win in a landslide, even against Kamala or anything. As much like Trump needs to go in, Trump deserves it. This is Trump's time.
Trump needs to go in and just sweep, but he is the next 8 years. In my opinion, I haven't seen somebody like this, and I want to make sure he gets the praises that he deserves for sure.
Now, how about you want to talk about them cutting those mics off?
Yeah. Go ahead. Put it on.
Oh, we got that? We got that, Bo?
But thank you,
Senator.
we have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important because...
We're going to turn out of the economy. Thank
Margaret,
you.
the rules were that you guys weren't going to fact check. And since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on.
Yeah. So that was one of them. There's a little more. That's what I wanted from Trump. When they were fact checking him, I wanted him to go like, hey, like the cats and the dogs situation, for example, which even in the Spanish news, they're saying that it's fake. It's not fake.
No, it's real.
Maybe it's a few people. Maybe it's not the majority.
Right.
I get that, but it did happen.
There is 100% documented case with body cam video and everything of a woman covered in blood on her mouth, her chest, everything. She ate the freaking cat, bro.
Every time that I see a news person saying that hasn't been confirmed, it pisses me off so much because I'm like, well, I don't need confirmation when I see a video. That is the confirmation.
He should have left that out. I'll be honest. I mean,
I know.
He just put that shit to them on a platter when he said they eat freaking dogs and the cats. It's like, come on.
I know, but I like it because they made a remix out of it. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cats. That was so good. I liked it. Trump is a character, man, and love him or hate him, like he is the right candidate for this. This evil versus good. And I had an interview with Evangelo Morris. He's a veteran recently, and man, he was telling me about how we should handle, regardless of what side you are, how we should handle each other. He's trying to heal America as he goes around and talks to people, and he has a beautiful story. I'll be releasing that here by next week, but. He gave me a good idea of how to not get so emotionally angry with with everything that's going on in this country, and just try to stay connected, because at the end, in order to win, we do need to bring more voters in, right?
We do.
And in order to do that, we can't just bash on the other side. We have to educate them, and we gotta figure out how to talk to them,
right? Even
though it feels like they won't listen to us on anything. And he gave me some good pointers on that. It's gonna be a good podcast coming out next week.
Nice.
But yeah, man.
I want to bring up something that we don't have on the agenda today, because I think it's important. The strike, the port strikes that are going on. Are you familiar at all with what's going on?
What's going on there?
So all of and I'm a butcher a little bit of this, but all of there's the union that is in charge of all the guys who manage our ports, right?
Okay.
Who bring in all our goods from all around the world, which is pretty much it is more important, if not, than the truckers, right? They're striking right now all across the East Coast of the United States. I guess there's two unions, one on the left, one on the east.
Yes, I heard about this. I saw it in Miami.
Right, so they're striking.
The port of Miami, right?
Yeah, all ports.
Okay.
Port of Tampa, Port of Miami, all the way up to New York, all the way through the Gulf Coast. It's a big problem. But people don't understand what this is exactly about, okay? They're not just asking for more money. Yes, they are. I don't necessarily agree with it, because they're already paid a crap load of money, but this is a battle between the present and the future. And this is what people don't understand. They're asking not just for more money. They rejected when they are given the money. They want a stop to automation. And what that means is it all started when, I can't remember where the port is, but there's one port that had these cranes, these automatic robotic cranes installed, where they could load and unload these ships without humans, without the longshoremen, which is what the union is, right?
Okay.
They freaked out. And they're like, wait a minute. If you guys do this and you allow automation, we are all out of a job in the next decade. This is a fight between the present and the future. Just like you go into McDonald's now, what do you have? One person behind the kiosk now?
Yeah.
You go up to the board and you order your food now. You wait in line if you want to talk to the one or two people that are behind the register. This is happening. And it's a losing battle. And they know it. And so they're trying to put their foot down right now with everything they have to say they want the contract to say zero automation, not even semi-automation, not even part of it is being done by robots. And it's scary because we know it's coming.
Yeah.
So, but I think they're making the wrong decision by holding the country hostage right now. I think they need to find a way to assimilate with the automation, to change what they do or do something to keep their jobs. It is really scary, but America needs to pay attention to this because automation's coming. And these guys have a chokehold on us right now, and we haven't felt it. It'll be the guy, the head of the union. He got on and explained, first week you ain't going to notice anything. The next week you're going to see this. The next week you're going to see this. We're going to feel it. And it's interesting because...
So what are some of the biggest impacts that we're going to experience in terms of like pricing?
Oh, yeah. Anything coming from overseas, right? Which goes to Donald Trump's strategy of producing here in America. We learned a lot in COVID when all the shit was shut down and all the shipping was shut down. Remember the whole supply chain stuff? You're about to see that again. What are you going to add? Toilet paper, paper towels, medicines, lithium batteries. Just think about anything that comes on a cargo ship from overseas. That's going to get... Now, is our food supply going to get interrupted? Not really. Bananas. We're probably going to get effed up on bananas. But for the most part, we grow our own food and we supply our own food here. Okay. But it was staggering to find out how much medicine China makes for us, which I think we've made some changes since COVID. But it could be very bad. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see how it happens politically because the Biden administration is trying to stay out of it right now. And some people are saying they need to step in, but that could be a death sentence for Kamala too. So I don't know. Politically, might be a good thing. This is when you need a guy like Trump who deals with unions, who's a New York-based guy who can go in there and be like, all right, we're sitting down and we're figuring it out. Because, guys, automation is not going away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had to bring that up for everybody.
Yeah, what you need to do is become an automation engineer.
Right.
And, help this robots function a little bit better.
That's it.
Be part of it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Great show.
We'll see you guys next week. We
See you
the
next
people.
week.
Out. How's it going, everybody? This is We